Judy, tell us how you plan to use your power as a woman this year.
Okay. I think I've always been a political person, but I've done it at my kitchen table, just talking with my friends and saying this is awful, this is great, or whatever. And I think my life really changed with the 2016 election. And I just decided I gotta do more than sit around the table and complain and wonder what's happening in the world. I gotta act. So the first thing I did was I went to my very first march. I went to Washington, D.C. to the Women's March. And my sister-in-law, who's been doing this her whole life, said, boy, if you had to pick one to go to, you sure picked the right one. And it was a life-changing experience for me. I came from this very small town that I go to in the summer. Very, very small town. And 7 of us took the bus and went to Washington, and the other 12 stayed home and marched on this street. 12 people and 2 dogs. I also joined Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, because that's one of my big issues. And my other big issue is age discrimination. I'm 82 years old. I want to be heard. I want people to pay attention to what I have to say. And I think now I have the time. I'm not being a mom anymore. I'm not doing those kinds of jobs anymore. And I've had a lot of experience, and I have a lot to contribute. So I feel like that's one of the things I have to do. I would just like to say that this is a big change for me, and it hasn't cost me anything. I mean, very little in terms of time, very little in terms of money, and it's made a huge difference in my life, because now I feel so much more connected, like I'm really part of a community and I'm doing my share. And I'm just all for everybody doing the same thing.
First of all, I got a degree in feminist studies in 1979, and no one looked like me in the room. So being in this room, I know we're serious about getting stuff done as women, and give yourself applause. African American women, black women have always been leaders. Even when they were captured, they had the wherewithal and the vision to put seeds in their hair. So they knew somewhere, wherever they landed, they were going to be planting and feeding somebody. I have no right to not to try to do whatever needs to be done to get things done for family, myself, community, for the world. In the Yoruba tradition, there's a word called ashe. Ashe is your spiritual essence. It is your life force. It is in everything on the planet. So we are all connected. So I have no right to denigrate anyone. I have no right to put anyone down, because I look at you as if I'm looking at the God of my understanding, which is pretty limited at times. And I use my power to speak Afo Ashe, the power of the spoken word. So I tell stories, and I write stories, and I connect stories, and I tell people about somebody else's stories, because it makes us human. So as a leader, I will be as ethical and honest as I can and transform every incident, every moment, every person that I can to make the impact that we are we. And as leaders, we are we. It's not us and them, it is we. And I give thanks every day I share.
But I think it's important for us as women to be taking time to ourselves to say, it's okay, and it's actually good for you. So for me, this is the year of saying hell no to a lot of things. It really is important for us to be able to say no as a practice in healing, because oppressors force you into doing specific things. I'm a survivor of sexual violence. My choice to say no is really important to me. My worth isn't calculated by how many speeches I give or how much I get paid. It is self-calculated. And I think as a woman of color, as a brown Muslim woman, I'm constantly told that like my worth is diminished because I choose to wear the hijab. I'm told that my worth is diminished because my body was violated by a man who had no right to do so, right? And I think it's so important for us to realize that challenging those notions and actually understanding that we are in charge of how we see our worth That is revolutionary. So what I hope to do this year is start a revolution against myself and say, hell yes, you're worthy, and hell no, you don't gotta do all that, right? And beyond that, bring this to the people I love. And then bring it to the amazing, incredible Muslim women, the leaders that I work with. With Reviving the Islamic Sisterhood for Empowerment, I work to amplify the voices and power of Muslim women, right? The everyday Muslim woman needs to be reminded that people that look like her belong in every position of power. And until we start seeing that, I can't feel comfortable. Until we start that revolution, until we begin that kind of spiritual revolution, we can't have that. So this is my year of revolution, of challenging, of saying no, and that is where I will find my power. Thank you.
Because this work doesn't start with me, it started with my ancestors. It started with the raping of the women, it started with the taking of the lands. That's where it started. It's a really heavy topic. Because our women are being taken. Our women are being murdered at the highest rates. But their names are not talked about. Their names are not said. I'm a Wia, I am a woman, and that's something I hold to the highest respect. Because I am a woman first. I am a human first. And you're gonna respect me.
In addition to my writing life, this year I'm also looking forward to a new community venture. Some friends and I, all women of color and working class white folks, are starting a company that will take anyone interested on social justice tours around the Twin Cities. It's called Provocatours. Shalini Gupta, ladies and gentlemen. And is inspired and grounded in ideas and values espoused in Bell Hook's seminal text, Teaching to Transgress.
They cannot kill us now. I know that as a poor person speaking, as a woman of color, the numbers have always been on our sides. It's not a surprise to you, right? That 90% of the wealth in this country belongs to the 1%. The numbers are not on our sides, and we don't need the numbers. We will be the miracles that we have been waiting for. And that's the thing that I'm most excited about. Because we live at a place and a time where no matter how tiny we are, no matter what the odds against our survival are, no matter what those numbers are, we have to for each other. Because the world is scary and the world is big, and I have little ones. And no matter how tiny these fingers are, they have to feed, they have to clothe, they have to protect at all costs the 3 beating hearts that are waiting for me at home. And so it's exciting for me to be in this room, to see all the spectrum of life. There is no bad place in time to be a woman. There is no bad place on the life spectrum to be a woman. Making with Women's Press, where you're taking this magazine is where it needs to go. Yes. So thank you. If there was ever a moment when we needed to come together to realize a more perfect union, that moment is now, it is this year. Thank you all.
If I was at home listening to the radio and they were all on the radio, I would probably be bawling. But I don't want to mess my makeup up. So, awesome. I think that what Mickey executed and what she thought would happen tonight or was afraid might not happen tonight, happened tonight. So, let's give all of our speakers a hand. This was incredible. I attend a lot of events all across the country. This right here, bar none, is at the top. This was awesome.